Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss from second chapter development of English language in India. So in this we are going to discuss about these topics: development of language policy in India. NPE. NPE means National Policy on Education. MIL. MIL means Modern Indian Language, and also three language formula, and NCF, National Curriculum Framework 2005. National Curriculum Framework 2005, and NCFTE, National Curriculum Framework of Teachers Education. National Curriculum Framework of Teachers Education 2009. This topic we are going to discuss, and status of English in India as a second and global language. Status of English language, not the Hindi language, as a second language as well as global language, from translation to collaboration in language learning. So, translation to collaboration and language learning theories. So, theories of language learning, multilingualism in ELT. So, we shall get into the topic now. Development of language policy in India during prehistoric days and the Vedic days. During prehistoric and Vedic days, our society was multilingual. Means, if you look at our history in the ancient time, so our country was a multilingual. Means our people used to speak in different languages. Means we have more than one or two languages, and happily the languages have coexisted in peace. Means nobody fought each other. The languages also coexisted in peace. Vedic is not the same as the Sanskrit, and both these languages coexisted in the Vedic period as well as in the Sanskrit. So this Sanskrit languages also they used it. These all the languages were coexisted. Almost at the same time we had languages such as Pali and Prakrit. Yes, we have studied in the history that people have used Pali language and Prakrit language. And come to the Buddha. Buddha's period, what he did, he chose Pali to preach his disciples to his followers or to spread Buddhism. So he used which language here? Pali languages. Means Sanskrit language, Pali language, Prakrit language is all at a time they used it in a different places. But these all languages, what they did, they coexisted in the peace. With the passing of times, there were several invasions from Persia and Arabia, and these languages in their modified forms have become part of the Indian repertoire. But what happened here? Persian people or Arabian people, so they started invading. So they started invading India. But even though what happened, these languages were because of our languages were modified. Means most of the Persian words and Arabians words entered into our languages. Our people started using mixing their words. So subsequently, with the traders from Holland, Spain, Portugal, France, and England coming here as a settlers, yes, we knew that we have studied in the social subject that most of the people from European countries, Holland, Spain, Portugal, France, and England, these people they started entering as a sailors, and slowly they invaded our country and settled here as a settlers. Subsequently, rulers did not make any dent in the Indian culture, nor did it disturb Indian linguistic equilibrium. So, beginning, these rulers they did not disturb our language, and the dent in the Indian culture, nor did it disturb. They did not disturb here, and our Indian culture means Indian linguistic equilibrium was continued. Means their language and our language equally treated here, so that people did not interfere into our languages. So we are country with more than 1,000 languages. Yes, we knew that. What is that? Sometimes we hear nearly 1,600 languages we have in our country. So here approximately we have taken as 1,000 languages, more than 1,000 languages spoken here. These languages belongs to what? Three distinct families. These languages belongs to how many families? Three distinct families. So the first one is Indo-European and also called Indo-Aryan. Indo-European called as a Indo-Aryan. And the second one is what here? Dravidian language. Second one is Dravidian language. And the third one is Tibeto-Burman. So these languages were here used here. So we shall see the Indo-Aryan or Indo-European. So what is Indo-European? We know that 70% of Indians population speak Hindi, Urdu, Bengali, Punjabi, Marathi, Gujarati, Rajasthani, Sindhi, Kashmiri. So these people are called as a Indo-European or Indo-Aryan. Which language people? Hindi, Urdu, Bengali, Punjabi, Marathi, Gujarati, and Rajasthani, Sindhi, Kashmir. So these all people, 70% of the population. So they comes under Indo-Aryan or Indo-European families. Coming to the Dravidian, Dravidian nearly 25%. So India's population speaks Dravidian language. So which people comes under here? Our southern side, southern border. Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and Tulu, and another language also, Kodava, some other languages. Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and Tulu. These languages comes under Dravidian languages, mostly Dravid southern part. And Tibeto-Burman. Tibeto-Burman, we know that Tibet and Burman, our neighbor countries. So these country area, nearly 5% of the population speaks. Which language is Tibetan, Ladakh language, Bhutia or Naga, means Nagaland language, Mizoram language, and Manipuri. So these languages comes under what? Tibeto-Burman, Indo-Aryan, Dravidian, Tibeto-Burman. So once again I am repeating, 70% of the people speaks Indo-Aryan languages. Hindi, Urdu, Bengali, Punjabi, Marathi, Gujarati, Rajasthani, Sindhi, and Kashmiri. These are similar to Hindi languages. These are similar to Hindi languages. And Dravidian are which one? Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayali, and Tulu language. So these are Dravidian languages. Tibeto-Burman is nothing but neighboring of Tibet and Burma state, Burma country. Which language? Tibetan language and Ladakhi language, Bhutia means Bhutan language, Nagaland language, Naga, Mizoram language, Mizo, Manipuri language, Manipur language, Manipuri. So these language comes under Tibeto-Burman. And each of these families is large, and beside these, we also have a small group of languages drawn from Austro-Asian family. So this point also very, very important. So what is the Austro-Asian family here? So this also called as a Austro-Asiatic or Andamanese and Indo-Pacific. So means Austria and Asian languages. Santali language or Great Andamanese language, Nicobarese language means this is also island part. This is nothing but islands. Islands people speak this language. That language is called as a Austro-Asian family. Such a diversity continues to provide India the status of multilingual nation. Yes. So by above points, we can understand that India can get the status of multilingual nation because so by seeing here only we can understand that many languages we speak, and some of the regional languages and some of the dialects and slangs are different. Nearly how many languages? More than 1,000 languages. Most of the tribal languages also there. It was difficult for the policymakers to decide on which of these languages should be national language. Yes, it's a very important point. So which language we should make as a national language? So this is a question mark. With Hindi spoken by nearly 40% of the population, it was a natural choice. Here what happening here? 40% of the people speaking which language? Hindi language. So Hindi language we can make it as a natural choice. Because besides the script used for writing Hindi, Devanagari was shared by few other languages such as Marathi and gave it the necessary potential to become the national language. Yes, Devanagari language is useful for what? The script is used for Hindi as well as Marathi languages also. And this is giving to potential to make Hindi languages as a national language. So this is what the important point. So 40% of the people are speaking which language? Hindi language. And Hindi language lipi script is what here? Devanagari. And Marathi also, for Marathi also we use Devanagari. And so that is the reason Hindi is becoming as a potential language. However, its spread was limited to Hindi speaking belt, consisting of erstwhile states of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and Rajasthan. So mostly these four states. How many states? Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and Rajasthan. So these states can be called as a Hindi speaking belt. Which belt? Hindi speaking belt. So, but what he is saying here, this spread was limited. Yes. In the previous slides, we have seen number of languages. But number of languages are spoken in different states. But only one language is spoken in four bigger states. So, but we have a nearly 29 states in our country. So it's impossible to make four states language to national language. So that is the reason the spread is limited. This excluded several other states in the country and imposition of Hindi was opposed. Yes, we know that in Tamil Nadu in the 1963 period, when Indian government wanted to make Hindi as a official language. They wanted to make Hindi as a official language. Then what happened? The Tamil people from Tamil Nadu, means the southern part, they started what? Anti-Hindi agitation. So they started anti-Hindi agitation that Hindi should not make it as a official language of our country. Because Hindi is spoken by whom? Only northern people. So they thought they are forcefully imposing on southern states. So that is the reason this Hindi language was opposed. And then what they decided, they gave Hindi as a for a specific period, for 15-year period to develop itself and attain the status of national language. So by the 1963, 1947 to 1970, 1963, it was a lesser period. So they thought slowly, gradually, Hindi language will spread to all the states. So that is the reason they gave 15 years of time to develop itself and to attain the status of national language. However, that has not become a reality. But what happened? So it has not reached to the status of national language. And because of this, English continues to exist and it became as an associate official language of the country. So here, English language became as an associate official language of the country. So we are using English only as official language. 8th schedule of the Constitution of India grants status to languages in the country. So in our Constitution, which is schedule, 8th schedule of the Constitution is granting the status to the languages. So how many languages means they have given grant? To date, we have 22 languages. How many languages? 22 languages they have granted the status that have been recognized as a scheduled languages and their number may grow. Yes, gradually this number may grow with some languages gain importance. One such recognized language is English. Among these, one of the languages, which one? English also there. So this is not our language, even though it has become as a official language of associate official language of India. Means it has gained the importance in our country. While defining a scheduled language, the Constitution of India states a scheduled language is one which the candidates aspiring for position through public service examination can choose to write their answer in. So what is the scheduled language here? So among these 22 languages, so whoever the public service examination, especially UPSC examination, so whoever is attempting this exam, so they can choose among these 22 language, any one of the language as their, what is that option to write the exam in that language. So they can choose it. So that is the reason 22 languages they selected. Each state has its own language recognized its official language. Yes. In our Telugu, in our state, we have Telugu as the official language and Urdu is the second official language. So means each state can take their own official language. And these languages are part of the 22 scheduled languages. Yes. Every state can have their own language as official language. And so that can be considered in a 22 languages. However, all correspondence between the center and state or between two linguistically diverse states happen either in English or Hindi. Suppose our our state official language is Telugu, but our country's official language is what? Hindi. Sorry, associate official language is English and national language is Hindi. Associate official language is English, national language is Hindi. So we can communicate with the central. We can communicate with the central government either in English or Hindi. Any of one of the language we can select. This brings us to a stage when we need to understand terms such as a national language and official language. So we shall see that what is a national language and what is official language. Firstly, we'll start with the national language. Yes, national language is one that has a political, cultural, and social recognition throughout the nation. Yes. What is national language here? So, which has a political, cultural, and social recognition throughout the nation. So, that language can be called as a national language, politically, culturally, and socially. So, whatever the language has a recognition. So, which language has a recognition here? Hindi has. Which language has here? Hindi has. So, that is the reason Hindi became as a national language. The politicians often use it for mass communication. Yes, when you cross our state, mostly what we do, we use Hindi language because mostly, if we when we go to the other state, mostly what we do, we use Hindi language or else English language. So the politician often use it for mass communication and the language of celebrating national festivals such as Independence Day, Republic Day, mainly the national language. Yes, we have our national festival. Which one? Independence Day and Republic Day. So in these national festivals, we use one national language. Which language? Hindi. Which language we use? Hindi we use as a national language. It is a national symbol and matter of national pride. Our language is a national symbol and it is a matter of national pride. And what is official language? The official language, on the other hand, is used for all communication by the government. Yes. Mostly you see whatever the Jews comes, so it may comes and mostly in which language? English language only. It comes in a English language. So this language can be called as a official language. Even our circulars also comes in a which language? English language only. It is put to practical use and perhaps as a wider circulation than the national language. Because if they are giving in an English language, what happens? Our circulars can be read by other states also. Official language. So what are the official languages? We have two official languages of India. One is English and one more is Hindi. So we use two languages for official languages. One is English, one more is Hindi. So what is the use of official language? The official language, on the other hand, is used for all communication by the government. So the government, whatever the GOs passes or whatever the laws they make, so they all means that they make all the laws in two languages, either English or Hindi. So both they can use it. It is put to practical use and perhaps has a wider circulation than the national language. Yes, mostly what happens here, whatever the official languages we have, that official language will be used in a wider circulations. Mostly means more than the national languages. But actually here we are using two things. Two languages we are using. One is national language also we are using. One is and English, associate of English language also we are using. So in India, we don't have any differences like a France or China. It is possible to have the same language serving both the purposes, but in India, it has not been the case. Yes. Just now I said France. France, what they do, they use a French language. They use the French language for official as well as national language. Official language as well as national language. And even in China also, same thing. China also, they use the language, what the language is called as a Mandarin language. So Mandarin languages also will be used in a two purpose, national language as well as a official language. But in India, it is different. National language is Hindi and official language is both English as well as Hindi. Hindi has remained a symbolic official language. Yes, Hindi has remained as a symbolic official language. And for all practical purposes, yes, for all practical purposes in the sense for all the activities of our Indian culture. And English serves at the official as a official language. English serves as a official language. Here, Hindi language is used for all the practical purposes, and English we use as a official language. So we use mostly in a circulars or GOs or making of laws. But Hindi, whatever the cultural events or social events, whatever happens, that will be done in Hindi language only. However, country as a whole unanimously accepts Hindi as a national language and takes pride in promoting it. Yes, unanimously we accept what which language? Hindi language, because most of the people, more than the 40% of the people speaks Hindi. So that is the reason we are accepting Hindi as a national language, and it takes a pride in promoting it. English, besides being an official language, has developed itself as a major language of education. Yes. So English is, just now we read, English is a official language. So besides this, what is it doing here? It is developed as a major language of education. So we know that all the government schools and private schools, medium of education is English. The English language education, which was formally introduced in 1835 with the famous Minutes of Macaulay. Yes, we knew that in 1835. So Macaulay has introduced English as a language of education. Means English language education was introduced in 1835. It has very intricately and beautifully woven into the lives of Indians. Yes. Slowly, gradually, it has entered into the Indian's life. Which language? English language. Today, there has been a mad rush to learn English in a preference to learning mother tongue. Yes. We are, what we are doing here, instead of looking into the mother tongue, we are caring which language here? English language only. Means we are merely rushing to learn the English language. Otherwise, we are unable to survive nowadays, because English has become as one of the working language, a living language. Right. So it may be right to observe here that the state authorities should curb this move, for it can lead to lopsided development and the killing of several of our own languages. Yes. So what it is doing here, the English language is killing many of the languages. It is killing several languages. You see nowadays, whoever studying in English medium, so they are unable to read and write Telugu language. So it means what? So we can understand that English language is killing even our own mother tongue also. So mostly most of the people are failing in Telugu language. And when they go to the intermediate, they try to go for Sanskrit language instead of in Telugu language. So means they are unable to understand the Telugu because of only one subject. English is in 3 to 4 subjects. Optional, all the optional languages and even English language will be taught in English medium. But Telugu is only one subject. And it is not because it's a global language, but a major second language across the country. Yes. So in India, what is happening here? So English is becoming as a major second language. We knew that it's a global language, universal language. Apart from that, in India also, English has become as a major second language across the country. And let us enumerate some of the reasons why English is developing, why English is used. It is a language that available in our immediate neighborhood. Yes, everywhere we find the English language, but we don't find the Hindi people in our neighborhood. So you find the English studying people or English language educating people in our neighborhood, but we don't find the Hindi medium people or Hindi speaking people. So it's that is the reason. It is our immediate neighborhood. It is all pervading. Pervading. What is the meaning of pervading? As spreading. English is spreading in our markets, restaurants, supermarkets, cinemas, travels, trade, etc. Everywhere we see the English. Even rules and regulations and norms, conditions, everything will be written in English only. Even signboards, bus boards, everything you see in English language. And also in your regional language, Telugu language, English language is developing. It is a major language of media and broadcast. Yes, you see, most of the news channels, news anchors, they speak in English language. Even newspapers also, they're what they are doing, they are trying to print in English language, because if they print in English language, it can spread to all the states. But if they print in Telugu language, it will be, or if they print to only regional language, it will be limited to only one state or one region. So that is the reason they are preferring to English language. It is a major language which facilitates education at all levels. Yes, just now we discussed. In education, All the people, they're going for English language only or English medium only. It is also the main source of reference, thus gaining the sobriquet library language. Yes, sobriquet. Sobriquet means nickname. So it is a becoming a nickname of a library language. English has become a nickname. English got a nickname of what? That library language. Yes. You see, many inventions, many discoveries are happening every second, and many experiments and scientific experiments or innovations are going on. So that all things will be all data is available only in English language. So that is the reason when we read the book, so that comes under as a library. So that is the reason we are calling English as a library language. It is also popular as a window on the world. Yes, window on the world. So it is becoming window to the world. English language. This term used by our first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and suggesting that it is a chief source for being aware of global happening. Yes, because English language is a window to the world because it is a chief source to enter into the world.